Okay. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome on this November 8th. November 8th. See, I think we're turned up all the way. So let's see how the mic is today. See if it's at an appropriate level, Natasha. Let's hope that it is. If not, I'll keep making adjustments. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about persuasion. But first, welcome to the show. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show. I'm on all the socials at Coffee and Nuance. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Rumble, rumble.com/coffeeandnuance/live. Just bookmark it. It's the easiest way to find the show. But yes, today we're talking about selling fear. Let's talk about this dark art of persuasion where fear is the favorite trick. It's like they're trying to pull a rabbit out of a hat, but instead of a fear-ridden rabbit that's here to destroy our dreams. Politicians, like they're street magicians that try to distract us with flashy cards and steal your wallet. Vote for me or your bank account will vanish faster than a rabbit in a top hat. Seriously, guys, every time we start calling out every single time they play the fear card. Nice try, Houdini. And then there's the media. They're like the illusionists of the modern era, making things appear more terrifying than a horror movie. I said horror movie. You turn on the news, and it's like they're casting a spell on you with sensational headlines, dramatic music. It's like they're trying to hypnotize you into thinking the world is ending. Look outside. No apocalypse yet. But here's the real magic show, folks. It's big corporations making us believe we need their products to survive. Buy our magic potion, or you'll forever be invisible to the opposite sex. Come on, guys. Not falling for it anymore. What is the solution to break this fear spell? Well, it's pretty simple. Every time you spot a fear-based pitch, call it out. Demand facts, not stories from politicians. Point and laugh at the TV screen when the media tries to scare you with headlines. And when corporations play the fear card, tell them you've got your own trick. It's called research and common sense. In the grand magic show called life, the real power lies with us, the ones who can reveal the tricks and make this world a lot more rational and a little bit funnier. So let's expose the smoke and mirrors, turn the fear game into a comedy show, and remember, every time you hear vote for me or the world ends, just say, ta-da, nice try, Copperfield. My name's Tom Coffee. This is the Coffee Nuance Show, best censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. So this is the theme today, fear. Fear is the big idea, and fear is what motivates people the most. Oh, you can give them a sound reason. You can explain something to them. You can try to persuade them with facts and logic, but fear trumps all of that. And we see this all the time. You know, we had, I guess it was election day some places in the country yesterday. And the Democrats have been using the fear from Roe v. Wade, choice, abortion, fear. And it sells. It is the best motivator. But this kind of reminds me of seeing my dad around my niece when she was a little tiny kid. Every time we had the TV on and there was a commercial of something that she wanted, or a commercial where they were, obviously selling something, my dad would always point at the screen and say, "Look, they're trying to sell you something. And he did it so many times that, I mean, it was repetitive, right? It was annoying. But every time there was a commercial, he would point at it and say, look, they're trying to sell you something. And I think it made a difference because now my niece, as an adult, she's not the type of person that wants to buy stuff. She's not living the lifestyle of many people her age, just being obsessed with consumer goods. I think it worked. When you point out a trick, like fear, oh, you're using fear to try to manipulate us. You're trying to use fear. If you do that enough, some people will catch on. Hashtag not all. Not all people will catch on. But thanks for joining me today. We got a number of stories to get to. They're all kind of centered on this theme of using fear to manipulate us. And I do have some good news at the end that also involves fear. So that'll be interesting. And remember, stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all of your comments on YouTube and on Rumble. Rumble, we got a number of people watching right now. Do me a favor, all those people on Rumble, hit the like button for me. Let me know you are not a bot. You are a real live person. And I'm asking this nicely. I'm not, I should have, this is it. I should have thought if I heard if you don't hit the like button, then the government will, I don't know, do something rotten to you. See, I'm not good at using this fear stuff. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's what will get this channel to grow, is if I just start selling fear to everyone. Fear, fear, fear. We could try that. We could try that, perhaps. Maybe one week will be like Fear Week, kind of like Shark Week. I'll go over the top of how bad things are. And the only way to save planet Earth is to subscribe to this channel, leave a comment, and smash the like button. Yeah, but I got to figure out a good pitch on how to sell that with fear. Something to work on. Something to work on. Anyway, well, speaking of fear, we got some interesting science that we all need to be afraid of. Let's check that out. Oh, yeah. Well, folks, they say this year is virtually certain to be the warmest in 125,000 years. Now, according to their website, the group that put this on, they provide authoritative information about the past, present, and future climate. Well, I guess they're the authority. We all need to trust those scientists that are being paid to have that opinion, because they've never pulled that trick before, right? Yes, well, here's the story. This year is likely to become the warmest in 125,000 years, with last month being the hottest October on record by a significant margin. This warming is due to ongoing greenhouse gas emissions and the El Nino weather pattern. Global temperatures in October were 1.7 degrees Celsius warmer than pre-industrial period. This record-breaking October makes it almost certain that 2023 will be the warmest year ever recorded. Climate scientists emphasize the need, the climate scientists that are being paid, right? They are emphasizing the need for urgent greenhouse gas emissions reduction to prevent further climate-related disasters. So, we all scared now? I gotta say, if this was the warmest year ever, I mean, I don't know where you are, but it was a pretty good year for me. And here's a little trick that is being used by the warmest year ever recorded. Nice. Warmest year ever recorded. That doesn't literally mean ever recorded. That means since they updated the way that they record global temperatures, because they didn't really measure global temperatures, I believe, before 1981. Okay? So all of those caveats that it's ever recorded, that's because they've only been recording since the early 80s. Okay? There were hotter temperatures within the past century, but those don't count because those were recorded in a different way. Okay? Yeah. And I'm glad that we have the records from 125,000 years ago, from those human beings that were living 125,000 years ago, that were able to go out around the earth at that time to all the different places to record what the temperature was like. It's really good that we have that data. Yeah. Now, I am not a climate denier or anything like that. What I am is someone that sees the way that the media manipulates the public, and I see them do it, let's say, 100 times. I see how they do it, and then I see that exact same method being used, such as this, that it's the hottest year in 125,000 years. And I think, well, that's an interesting method that they used here. I wonder if I can actually find the data on this. Oh, it's not in the article. Okay. Well, let me look at the website. Perhaps they will publish the data that they're drawing this conclusion from. Look through their website. Can't seem to find the data there either. But they do tell us that they are the authority, and they're the ones to be believed. And I think that that works sometimes. You know, it might work with your kids, right? You are the authority of your household, and you should be. But it's not very persuasive to just say, I'm the authority. I'm always right. And that's what they're saying here. We're the authority. We're always right. In fact, you can look at the climate predictions over my lifetime that have been made. Not many of them have come true. But, yeah. Again, I have been looking, this whole year, I have been looking for the most persuasive piece of evidence in the climate change debate. I've been looking for that. And so if you have a link to a study that you think that this is the most persuasive, please leave it in the comments or send it to me on X or something, because I'm looking for the most persuasive one, because I want to be convinced of this. I just haven't seen it yet. And I guess I'm kind of stubborn that I just don't believe things because I'm told to believe them. And this fear thing doesn't seem to work on me. Well, some fear works on me. Don't get me wrong. I've been threatened with my channel over and over again about, making sure I don't say the wrong thing because I could be deleted. So that does work because I've not talked about certain topics because of those threats. So yeah, fear does work. But the fear on 125,000 years, I'm sincerely asking for evidence of that. And once I get that evidence, and I think it's pretty good, I'll share that with you. So I look forward to hopefully sharing that with you at some point in the near future. Next up, we got some more fear mongering. So, here we go. Folks, they censured Rashida Tlaib for her comments on Israel. But you know what? I've seen more bipartisan support for censuring a congresswoman than for any legislation in this town. Now, if only they could pass some legislation that would, actually help the country. Here's the story. The House passed a GOP-led resolution censuring Representative Rashida Tlaib for comments critical of Israel and support of Palestinians during the Israeli-Hamas conflict. It's a significant rebuke of Tlaib, with some bipartisan support. The resolution is related to her use of the pro-Palestinian chant "From the river to the sea." There have been threats against a GOP congressman who introduced the resolution. Tlaib has defended her stance, saying her colleagues are distorting her positions. They're just distorting. She's just misunderstood, y'all. Just misunderstood. And I'm conflicted here because this term, "from the river to the sea," I've heard from many people what it means, and then other people say, no, it doesn't really mean that. It means this other thing, right? Some people, Israel thinks that from the river to the sea, right? From the river to the sea, all of Palestine shall be free. Something like that. I think that's the chant. Israel is saying, oh, well, from the river to the sea, that's all of Israel, right? So they're calling for the destruction of Israel. Whereas on the other side, what they're saying is, no. We just say that we're being free. We're being free. We can go everywhere or whatever, But I think what would be the result if all Palestinians could travel all over Israel? What would the result of that be? Because we've kind of seen the result of what happened when some Hamas fighters came in. Well, that wasn't very good. So it all depends on your definition of, hey, what exactly does this phrase mean? Now, here's what I'll say with that. If you have a phrase that is controversial, right? You got a phrase that's controversial, and it may have different meanings. I think that we need to try to look at what the other person means by it and not insist on our own definition of it. And I'm going to give you an example here, where in many ways I'm going to agree with Rashida Tlaib. Okay. Now, I don't know in her heart what she feels that it means, but sometimes phrases or symbols kind of become too heated, too toxic, that if you cling to using them, it gives off the wrong impression. Okay? So in many ways, like when I grew up and I would watch the Dukes of Hazzard, and they had the General Lee, their car, and they had, wasn't technically the Stars and Bars, but they had the Confederate flag on the roof of their car. And in the show, the Duke boys, they were nice guys. They were not racist. Often they would have people on the show. There'd be a black guy on the show, and if there was ever a black guest on the show, they were always friends with the Duke boys, right? And I remember as a kid thinking, well, what's wrong with this flag? And having explained, well, some people believe that this flag is like celebrating slavery, right? That's one point of view. And the other people think that, oh, no. This flag is a symbol of our heritage, and it's kind of rebellious, so it's like a rebel flag. Well, the thing is, both of those things can be true, right? Some people can think of it as a rebel flag, and some people can think of it as a flag celebrating slavery. But guess what? You're both right, and you're both wrong. If someone actually thinks of it as a rebel flag, and you're accusing them of being a racist because of that, well, you're wrong. In the same way, if you know that people associate it with slavery, and you're like, well, I don't care. I like this flag. I'm gonna fly it anyway. I'm gonna have it anyway. Well, then you need to be aware that other people are gonna think that about you. Okay? So that is the example that I've come up with. It's not a direct parallel to it. But the thing is, if you're Palestinian or you're supporting Palestinian causes, and you know what Israelis think of that slogan, and you continue to use that slogan, well, you shouldn't be surprised by the reaction that you get. In the same way, if you like the Confederate flag, and for you it just means, hey, this is this is where I'm from, and it's kind of rebel power kind of thing, and that's your thing, you can do whatever you like to. Just know that there are many people that see that flag in a different way, and you're going to have to deal with the consequences for that. And so that's what it comes down to for me with this idea of from the river to the sea. We got two different groups. They claim that it has different meanings. So if I were Rashida Tlaib and I knew that Israelis thought so negatively about that phrase, come up with a different phrase. Come up with a different phrase. It's not that hard. If you cling to it, you're being stubborn, and I just don't buy your arguments anymore. So yeah, that's it. No, it's not nap time. I've run out of Zyrtec. I've run out of my allergy medicine, and I need to go get more allergy medicine today. Because my eyes are really itchy. Yeah. But anyway, we got another story, and we got more fear and more things misinterpreted and all that good stuff. Let's get to it. Oh yeah. If you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. Probably shouldn't even do this story, but you got to hand it to Yusef Salaam, folks. He went from being a, some say, wrongfully convicted violent felon to a member of New York City Council, which is pretty much equally despised, I guess. I guess in New York, they believe all media narratives because I've looked at it, and there's way more evidence against this guy than there was against OJ. Just saying. Yusef Salaam, member of the Central Park Five, who they say was wrongfully imprisoned in a notorious rape case, has won a seat in the New York City Council. He's a Democrat representing Central Harlem District. He ran unopposed, and after winning the primary election by a landslide, this marks a stunning reversal of fortune for Salaam, who spent nearly 7 years in prison before activists used DNA evidence to, and millions of dollars brought in to overturn his conviction. Salaam campaigned on addressing poverty and gentrification in Harlem, using his story as a symbol of injustice to gain support in the overwhelmingly black district. His victory represents a significant milestone in his journey from imprisonment to public office. So here he is holding up the ad, Bring Back the Death Penalty, which was when he was a teenager. This case is really interesting as far as a media manipulation goes. There's a lot of money to be made in advocacy groups. And you can raise a lot of money by saying, hey, this guy didn't do it. Give us millions of dollars and we'll get him out. And we'll support candidates that will look the other way, and we'll come up with BS, and we'll make it happen. There's a lot of money to be made in there. And in my opinion, that's what happened in this case. Now, of the five, I believe Yusef was the one that they did not have. I guess he didn't talk. So they had the other four guys on hours of video talking about the crimes. This was a horrific, horrific case that has essentially just been changed. Oprah paid for a documentary on Netflix on this. There's been other grifters just making millions of dollars off this case. I've looked at it, and it is unbelievable how strong the evidence is against Youssef and the other people in this case. And pretty much everything that's said about this that I can see is verifiably not true. But that's the crazy world that we live in today. You know, there's probably not a lot of money to be made if you were to make a documentary saying, hey, these guys that did this violent crime, they actually did it. So you can be branded as, you know, some kind of racist or whatever. There's no money to be made in that. But there's a lot of money to be made saying the opposite. And that's kind of what happened in this case. Look into it for yourself, and every single... there's so much out there. You can actually watch their interviews from when they were arrested. They keep... And one of the narratives is like, oh, it was a coerced confession. Well, you can watch it all yourself. They've all been released. They're all on the internet. You can watch them yourselves, and you can decide, hey, I'm looking at this. I see this for myself, and then I see what the media that tells me the truth about all things, but in this particular case, they're exactly right. Exactly right. Anyway, let's get to something else. Let's get to some more fear, this time being spun by the Fed. You know, folks, it's interesting to see regulators suddenly concerned about stablecoins. It's like when your grandma finally learns to send a text message about 10 years too late to the party. I mean, they're worried about these crypto stablecoins disrupting the financial system. Too late. That's a nice excuse. You burn down your own house and then blame your neighbor because his house is still standing. That makes sense. So the Federal Reserve's bank watchdog, Michael Barr, is concerned that unregulated crypto stablecoins could disrupt the U.S. financial system. He called for strong federal regulation to oversee stablecoin issuers. Nellie Liang from the Treasury Department sees potential in distributed ledger technology for payment efficiency. Michael Hugh, another regulator, differentiates between crypto and tokenization, with tokenization considered a solution to financial issues. He reassures investors about bank stability due to increased supervision. But what we have here, folks, is the Fed prints a ton of money. There's all this inflation. It's not helping the economy. People are using something other than U.S. dollars. So what can we do? I know, let's blame them. Let's blame crypto for what we do. It's hilarious. It's hilarious. I can't even come up with a logical reason for why having stablecoins would have any effect whatsoever on the U.S. dollar. So what a stablecoin is a coin that is pegged to a fiat currency, or say the price of gold or something. So you can, it's essentially a substitute for whatever you want it to be. So for example, you know, when the carnival comes to town, they don't want you paying cash at the carnival, right? For every ride. Oh, I'm getting on the octopus. Oh, here's my $4.50 for the ride. They don't want that. So what they do is they have you go to a booth, you give them your cash, they give you the tokens, and then you can use the tokens on the rides. That's kind of what a stable coin is like, if I can super oversimplify it. There's stable coins that are pegged to the US dollar. Okay? So the value of the stable coin is the same as the value of the dollar. So if people use their dollars to buy stable coins pegged to the dollar, how does that affect the dollar? Give me any logical reason to back this up. You can't. There's no reason that I can come up with, unless you want to take away the competition, unless you want to regulate. And then you make up some excuses like this. You make up some excuses to, we need more regulation. We need more oversight. We need to be more in control. It's pretty clear to me that that's what they're doing. And they're using fear to try to pass some more regulations. So I'm onto it, but maybe you are too. Seems pretty blatant. Seems very blatant. But next up, we got to mention that tonight is the third debate. Yeah, so this Republican debate on NBC News is causing a bit of a stir. Yes. NBC News, the preferred media outlet of the Democrat establishment. But the real question, is, who's really going to watch it? Even the moderators are taking bets on how many viewers they'll have. So there's 5 candidates tonight. Chris Christie, Ron DeSantis, Nikki Haley, Vivek Ramaswamy, and Tim Scott have qualified for the third 2024 presidential debate. It's going to be hosted by NBC News, sparking concerns about left-wing bias. Critics worry that the network may not address issues important to Republican voters fairly. NBC has a history of biased moderation in past Republican debates. Now, despite these concerns, the Republican National Committee stands by its choice of partners for the debate. The event provides an opportunity for candidates to reach a wider audience and appeal to voters beyond the conservative base. So, this is happening tonight, folks. Now, it is interesting that Chris Christie qualified. Christie qualified for this debate. This is the third debate. Let's see. And I still don't think he has any merchandise for sale, which is kind of a sign that he's not really a candidate. How can you be a candidate and still not have any merchandise for sale? In fact, is this? So here's his site. Join the Truth Moment. And you can donate. You can volunteer. Still no merch. He doesn't have a ball cap. He doesn't have a yard sign. He doesn't have a t-shirt for sale. No bumper stickers for sale for Chris Christie. Isn't that odd? This is the third debate and he still doesn't have any merch? It's as if he's not really a candidate. It's as if he's being paid to show up to the debate to just say mean stuff about Trump. That's what it looks like to me. But, what do I know? What do I know about that? That's just my observation. But now usually the last 2 debates, I've done a live stream watch along on Rumble, which was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I am not going to do that this evening, unfortunately, because there was an event that came to town, that's coming to town today, that I'm going to go to instead. So this is what I'm doing. That's right, AEW Dynamite, the professional wrestling show, is here in Portland today. I bought tickets to it before I realized what else was happening. I didn't realize it was the Republican debate day. I just bought tickets to it. And so I'm going to that this evening. However, I should be back in time for the midnight show, Midnight Americano, which is going to be midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West Coast. It is my plan to be streaming live at 9 o'clock, and maybe we'll look at what people were saying about the debate. But unfortunately, today I'm not going to do a simulcast of that debate. But I do encourage you to check it out, and I know that Rumble is going to do a live stream as well. so you can watch the Republican debate there if you like. But I'll be back at 9 o'clock West Coast, midnight on the East, right after I go to the big pro wrestling show down at the Rose Garden. I don't know that I'll be on camera or not. If you're into the show, you can watch and let me know if you see me. I'll probably be wearing an Aloha shirt. Not this one. I'll pick something more colorful. I'm in the front row, but I'm not sure which side the camera's pointed. So I'm not sure if I'll be on camera or not. I'm on the side directly facing where the people come down the ramp. So like straight back is where I'm going to be. But, we'll see. We'll see how it is. Anyway, I hope to see you all tonight. If you can hang out tonight, we have a good hang there. And lastly, though, we need to get to some good news. And I think this is hilarious news. Probably could have talked more about the Republican debate, but I don't know. We'll just have to see what happens tonight. Hopefully it will be better and they'll not talk over each other as much, because that was kind of cringe, somewhat embarrassing, the last debate where they were just kind of shouting over each other. My prediction for the debate tonight is somehow the moderators will set Nikki Haley up to look really good. That's my prediction, but we'll see what happens. Hey, did you know about Mexico's Congress and those three-fingered Peruvian mummies? Yeah, they authenticated them, but they stopped short of saying they were extraterrestrials. So they are authentically another distraction? The Mexican Congress heard researchers authenticate three-fingered Peruvian mummies, but didn't confirm them as being alien life forms. No. Journalist Jaime Maussan presented the mummies as potential evidence of non-human life. Scientific vouched for their authenticity, but their origin remains uncertain. Critics cited previous studies debunking similar claims. A lawmaker proposed making all UFO-related information public. Some suggested more extreme explanations, including an evolved human descendant theory. That's right. So here we go. Some three-toed Peruvian mummies are now, you can now go visit in Mexico. I think this is absolutely hilarious. These actually look a little bit better than than the last round of aliens purported to the presentation last time for Mexico. Those kind of look like more like little ETs. They had big heads and tiny bodies. These three-toed mummies are a little bit different, but always funny. Anytime aliens, UFOs, Bigfoot sightings come up, they always seem to come up when there's some other news they might be trying to distract you from. And now for me, alien life stuff, UFO, that's not fearful to me. I know some people are afraid of aliens, UFOs. I think that's probably the last thing we need to be afraid of. I'm a lot more afraid of my own government than I am UFOs. Let's be clear. Aliens didn't debase my currency. So anyway, I think that's kind of funny. And you know what? I look forward to checking out all of this. On your next trip to Mexico, you can check out all these alien life forms for yourself. They're going to be available in museums for the public to view. So, if you're going down there, now you have one more awesome thing to do while you're down there. And if you do, take pictures, come back and share it. I think it would be a fun thing for all to talk about. But from what I've seen of these, I don't know. I don't really have an explanation. Don't really have an opinion, but they look kind of fun. And you know what? We need some more fun in our life. So, yeah. Anyway, I think that's all I have prepared for you today. So stick around for the after show. I'll be going through all your comments on YouTube, all your comments on Rumble. And I'll be back tonight, midnight on the East, for the show Midnight Americano, where it's less political, more of a hang. And right back here tomorrow, noon on the West Coast, 3 p.m. on the East Coast for another episode of Coffee and Nuance. Hope you all are having a fantastic day. Until then, peace. Thanks for sticking around, everyone. Wow. Can I not get rid of this? Guess I can't. There we go. There we go. Thanks for sticking around for the after show. We're over here on Rumble. We got hashtag Rumble Gang. Real Nate Man. I hit the like button early. Thanks for doing that, Real Nate Man. I appreciate that. If you don't hit the like button, Hamas will kill your dog. That is some good fear. I like that. I wonder what the factor was that made the Earth so hot 120,000 years ago. Yeah. Probably all the cave people. You know, they had big bonfires, maybe. Maybe they weren't recycling enough. I imagine something like that, right? Maybe it was all the prehistoric, the dinosaurs running around and they were passing gas. And maybe that was it. You know, too many woolly mammoths passing gas and putting more methane into the atmosphere. Maybe that's why it was so hot 120,000 years ago. I don't know. But I probably need some authority figure to set me straight on that. So I'm looking forward for that. Because that's what we need. More authority, more experts to tell us things that we don't need to examine for ourselves. Apothecary John says, loving the AI thumbnail art. It really makes your thumbnail pop when I pass it on my feed. I'd be interested to see how it affects viewership, if at all. Me too. Yeah, I did. I'm learning how to, I haven't really done this AI art much, but I've been playing around with it a little bit. And so for the thumbnail today, I just put in video thumbnail about selling fear, something like that. And, I hit render about 20 times and just picked one that looked kind of cool. Maybe that's something I can work on, is actually making better thumbnails, or at least more attention-grabbing thumbnails. I guess the other thing is actually to make a better show, but there's that too, right? I'm inside. Guess I'll go outside for sound check. Okay. Yeah, subscribe or else. That's, you know what? Maybe that's what I can work on. Some kind of like subscribe or die. Maybe like a little 5-second clip. I do like the hit the like button or we'll kill this dog. Maybe I need to come up with a little fear stinger that I can play. What am I talking about? That's I hate that technique. Why would I do it? Well, I don't know. I guess if it works, I don't know. But no, we shouldn't do the techniques that we think are abhorrent, right? Not sure I would rely on 125,000-year-old technology at this point. No. The authoritative experts told us that we can. So that's it. So Apothecary John says, 50 likes on any video and I'll throw a digital pizza party in the Discord. I'll post a JPEG of a pizza and you pretend you're eating it. Well, that sounds like fun. You know, you can check out the Discord. I did check out the link. It still does work. In the description of this video, there is a link to an invite to be part of the Discord community for this channel. And so you can, if you're on Discord, it's another, you know, it's another platform, but that you can get together and chat with people that like this show, people that like this channel, and discuss various topics that have been brought up here and all kinds of stuff. It's really cool. I appreciate John for setting that up. Link in the description. You can go over there. But that is a good thing. I think that we need to put out a goal, you know, because goals work often. You say, oh, I want this, and then it's something we can all work for. So if it's 50 likes, maybe I should pick, you know, like 42 likes or 69 likes, something for the meme. Maybe 42 likes, something like that. But I'll come up with a number of likes that we can shoot for. So thank you for the encouragement on that. That's something that we can work on. Natasha says, anyone else getting buffering? I didn't get any buffering today on my end. I did, about 5 minutes prior to going live, I did run a check to see how fast my internet was working. Very fast. I was getting very good numbers, very good upload speeds, plenty good upload speeds. So on my end, it should be okay. Tom, is it true that the hurricane that hit Acapulco went from tropical storm to Category 5 overnight? Don't know. I would be surprised if it hit Category 5 and I did not see it in my news feed. However, that just tells me that I shouldn't trust my news feed, right? If that's true. But Categories 5 is a big deal. You know, I think we've had 2 Category 5s hit the U.S. You know, in the last 50-something years. Camille and Katrina. So if it did reach Category 5, that is a big deal. But, oh, look, I'm not sure about that. Your fear creates the best censored commentary. Well, I try. I really got to work on my fear, though. I think because it is so persuasive, I should be using the most persuasive things that I can. But then again, I don't like that people use fear to be persuasive. So if I did use fear to be persuasive, I would totally be a hypocrite, but we're all hypocrites. Oh man, we're running in a logic circle here. Yeah. I have a friend who flies the Southern Cross, the Bonnie Blue, the Lone Star, and the U.S. flags. That's cool. I'm not, don't know what the Bonnie Blue is, but it sounds nice. Duke boys, nice guys, smuggling moonshine, breaking out of jail, manipulation of the deputy. You know, nice guys, I guess. I don't know. It is funny, though. I did watch the Duke boys, right? Probably, I'm guessing middle school, something like that age, where it kind of appealed to me. And they were always the good guys. And the, you know, there was the politician, right? Boss Hogg. Was he the mayor or something? He was a county director or something. I'm not sure what his title was. Police chief? I don't know. But the politician was crooked. Cops were crooked. I don't know. Maybe that informed my worldview. Who knows? Who knows? But I just use that as an example of how certain symbols can be seen differently by different people. And we need to be fair and acknowledge that. You know, not everyone sees things the exact same way. You know, it was just Halloween, and one of the gags on Halloween is the "It's Okay to Be White" campaign. And this was created on 4chan. And the idea was to trigger people. And you print a flyer that just says, "It's okay to be white," with the idea that so many people on the progressive left would just go nuts and assume that that's some kind of white supremacist message, even though it literally just says it's okay to be white. No one should have a problem with it's okay to be white. And in that case, right, people see a flyer differently depending on what your politics are. So for all of those people that are like, oh, we're doing this to trigger people because it's literally the most milquetoast slogan you could ever come up with, they know why they're doing it, right? And the people freaking out about it, the people that freak out about it are not acknowledging how some people might read it. And it does, I think it is very effective because it does kind of expose the hypocrisy of certain groups. But just be aware, if there's something, a symbol, a saying that could be seen differently by different people, if you know other people see that symbol differently, you have to at least acknowledge that. Just acknowledge that. Barbiecoin. Lucid says here, the media is a guiding light, Tom. Come on, man. You're right. They are a guiding light. Guiding us to certain death. Yeah. Barbiecoin, the prettier you are, the more it's worth. Well, then I probably shouldn't invest in Barbiecoin, I guess, right? Lucid says, I'm finally going to put some money in crypto. Finally, we'll see how it goes. I think it's a very interesting technology, and as with all things, look into, do some research on it, and don't put in more than you can lose. The turd debate, not one person up there that I would feel confident about if they were president. Oh, the turd debate. I get it. It's like third debate. Wordplay is always good. Yeah, we'll see what happens with the debate. I'll actually probably watch the debate afterwards, because that kind of stuff interests me. But we'll just see what happens. Are you going to cover the debates like before? I am not going to cover it live like I did the last two. Like I say, I'm going to this pro wrestling show. So what are you going to do, right? We got to make choices. But I like going to live things, and so that's what I'm going to be doing. Trump makes debates enjoyable. Trump makes debates a lot more fun. I wish he would go to a debate. It would be a must-see if he did. But you can't really blame him for not going, because he's totally destroying the rest already. So he could probably only lose points by going to the debate. I think he should, right? But I understand the strategy. I'm sending Christie a coupon for Golden Corral. He looks hungry. Yeah, he always does kind of look hungry. He does indeed. Natasha says, I like DeSantis, but won't be watching any wrestling either. Yeah. I don't know. They're pretty much the same, aren't they? Right? Pro wrestling and a political debate. Yeah. Humans evolved to 5 fingers to adapt to more complicated piano music. Yeah. And if that's the case, we should have a few more, right? Although perhaps now, with everyone using their phone and video games and everything, perhaps we will evolve to have like more adept thumbs, right? Our thumbs might become even more active. I don't know. We'll see. Jaime, that was my name in Spanish class. And no, That's Not My Name. Okay. Good name, nonetheless, right? I Was Named After a Cowboy Movie from 1953 with Alan Ladd. Shane. Oh, no, I don't know. Wild Bill Cody? Don't know. The buffering went away. The sound was okay, but outside, but it's not a windy day today. Interesting stuff. Natasha was named after a character in War and Peace. The War Half. If anyone's read that, it could be one of the long, so long. Good luck making it through that book. Anyway, yeah, that's about all I have for you today. I am looking forward to this evening. One thing that I did last night, I'm trying to come up with different bits to do at night. And we did a tier list, and it was Keith Day yesterday. Keith Day. And so I had, I think, 16 different Keiths. Keith Richards, Keith Urban, Cool Keith, Keith Carradine, lots of different Keiths, Keith Emerson, and put them on a tier list. That was kind of fun. I got to make the graphics myself just to see what it was like. I don't want to do tier lists every day. That'd be a bit much. But I'm trying to come up with different things to do for the late night show. Kind of make it interesting. So, as always, I do appreciate everyone's suggestions. I really do read all the comments, and it does make a difference to me. That's why I'm doing this, is because of the feedback that I get from y'all. You make it really special, so thanks for that. And yeah, I'm gonna have to get the show together because right now I'm gonna have to leave in about 2.5 hours. I think I'm gonna have to leave to go down to the show. So yeah, I'll have to put that together pretty quick. But I'll do I'll have a monologue. I'll have a top 12 list. I'll see if there's anything else I can throw together. It'll be a good late night hang, and we can talk about the debate if anyone watched it there. That should be good. And I'm going to try to watch it tonight and then have a review for you tomorrow on this show about what happened in the debate, if there was anything that we need to see or talk about, or if they just bickered over each other. But my prediction is that NBC will say that Nikki Haley won. That's my prediction. It doesn't mean that she did, but my prediction is NBC will say that Nikki Haley won. Anyway, that's all I have for us today. I hope you all have a glorious day. I'm going to have fun tonight. And of course, yeah, if the camera's on me, of course I'll have to try to do something goofy. Because that's what you do, right? That's what we've learned. When the camera is pointed on you in public, you need to act a fool. That's what I've learned from, that's what I've learned. So you can count on that. I will try to do that. So we'll see about that. But anyway, you all have a beautiful day. I'll be back tonight. Hope to see you then for the late night hang. Until then, peace.